In 2018, Luka Doncic was the NBA Draft's third overall pick. Since then, the Dallas Mavericks star has established himself as the most memorable player from his draft class up to now. Spend a few minutes with us in this video as we explore Doncic's net worth and also see how he ranks against others in his draft class. First up, how much is Luka Doncic worth? The short answer is $25 million. This is what Celebrity Net Worth claims. He made more than $32 million on his rookie contract, and he now finds himself in the first 12 months of a deal that will ultimately pay him $215 million in the next half a decade. When his current contract expires, the Dallas Mavericks star will be 28 years old. That means a more lucrative contract could wait in the future. Over and above that, Luka Doncic also signed a $75 million deal with Jordan shoes. This will only expire in 2024. So at the moment, his net worth is around $25 million, but that is sure to rise enormously over the next 10 years. Trae Young is the only other member of the 2018 draft class to get an all-star team so far. He was the fifth overall pick of the class, and his net worth is estimated at around $20 million. Again, according to Celebrity Net Worth, Young's rookie contract was worth $26 million, but he is also in the first 12 months of a 5-year contract extension of $215 million. So his net worth is also about to shoot for the stars. Also, in the 2018 NBA draft, DeAndre Ayton benefited from being the first selection overall. His current net worth is estimated by Celebrity Net Worth to be around $35 million. On his rookie contract only, the Phoenix Suns center made more than $40 million. Over the next 4 years, an extension, he's currently in year 1, will pay more than $133 million. Another player destined to join Young and Doncic as all-stars this season is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He is third in the NBA in scoring at the moment and is averaging 31.1 points per game. His net worth cannot be confirmed, but it is estimated to be around $5 million. He made almost $17 million in his rookie contract. This is the first year of a contract extension, and over the next 5 years, it will pay him $179 million. What would a redraft of the class of 2018 look like? We thought we'd put our minds to it and see what would change. For that and more, keep watching. Then, franchises struck gold with picks in the 2018 NBA Draft. This draft will always stick in the memory for the Doncic-Young swap on the night of the draft. But once you look at the whole thing a little deeper, you'll realize there's more to this draft than just that swap. Sure, there were a couple of misses in the lottery, but while panning for draft gold, many franchises struck it rich too. For instance, Mikal Bridges ended up with the Suns at number 10. The Clippers got their number 11, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Michael Porter Jr. had injury concerns and fell to the Nuggets at number 14. Celtics Robert Williams III at number 27, and Trailblazers Anfernee Simons at number 24 both dropped outside the top 20. Early in the second round, the Mavericks selected Jalen Brunson. Most of these players are only just starting to establish themselves in the NBA, and it feels like it is now an interesting time to have a quick look at the lottery picks again with a redraft. We're 4 years on from the draft. Kyrie Irving and Gilbert McGregor from TSN made their alternate picks and selections based on who exactly they believed was deserving enough to slide into the draft spots, and this was pretty much regardless of team needs at the time. So let's have a look. Now, a redraft of the 2018 NBA Draft. And number 1 is definitely Luka Doncic of the Phoenix Suns. The original pick was DeAndre Ayton. There really isn't much debate on this one. Ayton has been great, granted, but if the Suns were in a position 10 times again, they would pick Doncic every single time, 10 times in a row. From the moment he put his feet into the league, Doncic has shown like a future Hall of Famer. The 23-year-old has 3 All-Star nominations in 4 seasons, a Rookie of the Year trophy, and 3 All-NBA selections. His jaw-dropping averages are 26.7 points, 8.5 rebounds, and 8.0 assists per game. Doncic is in his 5th year now and looks more than ready to take an MVP leap. His 36.0 points come with 8.4 rebounds and 8.3 assists in 9 games. Again, number 1 is Luka, no argument. And number 2 is Trae Young of the Sacramento Kings. This is over the original pick, Marvin Bagley III. Even though this may change in due course, right now Young is the second and only other All-Star from this draft class. He's also the only other member to have earned an All-NBA selection. He picked up third-team honors. This is for leading the entire league in total points and assists in the 2021-22 season. He went off for 48 points and 11 assists after becoming the best player on a team that reached the conference finals. He accomplished all of this before his 24th birthday. Now in year 5, he's averaging 28.2 points and 9.4 rebounds. We're also bringing Mikal Bridges into the mix. Keep watching to see how he features. That's coming up in a moment. Then there's the Atlanta Hawks' Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He comes in as the number 3 pick of this redraft, after the original pick was Luka Doncic. Ayton got more than a little consideration for this spot, but Gilgeous-Alexander is probably more suited for a number 1 option and franchise cornerstone than any other available player. While we've seen plenty of flashes of brilliance from him, the 24-year-old is about to leap to all-stardom in his 5th year. To start the season, SGA was one of the best players in the entire league. He's averaging 30.8 points, 5.8 assists, and 4.6 rebounds per game. The Thunder committed to him as the future of their franchise, and we would do the same by putting him down as number 3 pick in a redraft. Jaren Jackson was the original pick, but in this redraft, our number 4 pick has to be DeAndre Ayton of the Memphis Grizzlies. To get the original number 1 pick at a number 4 can never be anything but an absolute steal. He's been walking double-doubles from the time he entered the league and averaged 16.3 points and 10.3 rebounds in 71 games. His current average is 16.3 points and 10.4 rebounds, and that is over the first half-decade of his career. He also anchors a Suns defense that got as close as 2 wins to a 2021 NBA title. Then, as an encore, they won 64 games in 2021 to 22, a franchise record. Things have been a bit murky in Phoenix as of late, but that shouldn't affect Ayton's future at all. To see our number 7 and final pick in our redraft of the class of 2018, watch until the end of the video. Also, the Dallas Mavericks' Mikal Bridges. Trae Young was the original pick in the original draft. This decision was actually more than just a little tough. It was between 2 Villanova Wildcats, Brunson and Bridges, and there's no obvious wrong answer between these 2 incredible professionals. Our thought was Bridges from the beginning. That was simply because he's the kind of chap that fits any team on the roster. As a reliable scoring option 2, he shot more than 40% from 3 ever since the beginning of the 2020-21 season, and he's the kind of player you can comfortably stick on any perimeter scorer and force an off night. And he's been an Iron Man. He hasn't missed a single game. At number 6 in the redraft, we're picking Jalen Brunson over the original pick of Mo Bamba. He's now a $104 million man and the first one to really make a major leap in this redraft. In 2018, he went 33rd. This is undoubtedly a product of his age. He'd be 22 in his first NBA outing. That was a bad decision in retrospect. As the Player of the Year, NCAA in 2018, he's been exactly as solid in the NBA, maybe even more. His average points during Dallas's 2022 playoff run were 21.6, and he's now restoring hope with the Knicks fans. Finally, at redraft number 7, Jaren Jackson Jr. of the Chicago Bulls. The original number 7 pick was Wendell Carter Jr. For us, this time around, it was a decision between a promising trio. There was Williams, Carter, and then Jackson, in no particular order. They've all proven their value. Finally, Jackson was our choice. After all, the 23-year-old led the NBA in blocks per game last season at 2.3. He's one of the best rim protectors in the game, but easily steps outside to knock down 3 balls. We don't think we've seen the best of Jackson yet, mostly because of injuries. But even in this relatively small sample size, we feel more than comfortable making him a top 10 pick for our redraft. Jackson is one of the best young rim protectors in the NBA, but he can also step outside and knock down the 3 ball. It feels like we have yet to see the best of Jackson because of his injuries, but even in a small sample size, I'd feel more than comfortable taking him with a top 10 pick in this redraft. And that, folks, is how our top 7 would look in a redraft of the original draft class of 2018. And it is also how we end this video. Please remember to hit like, follow, and subscribe, and remember to look out for our next contribution. See you in the next one.